right. So when we lived in Norway, it was during the summer months. And so a lot of the time when we were there, the sun was up 24/7. There was about an hour of dusk, but the sun was still up. So when you got up in the middle of the night, you just got covered your eyes because you know how it's like if you see sunlight, you can't go back to sleep. It was kind of like that. And I don't know if I really ever got used to it. But I can tell you, I loved the sun being up all the time. We would come out of a restaurant like 10 o'clock at night, and you would think it was like 6 o'clock in the evening, just because your brain is so used to, our half days bright, half days dark kind of thing. So we went on this whitewater rafting trip, and we were out whitewater rafting. And basically, what happened, they got us in these rafts. And I was in the very back row, and then the guide was behind me, and then Casey was in the very front row. So I don't know, there were like 4 rows, I think 5 rows, something like that. So he's in the very front, and we're going down these rapids, and it's just fun because I love like roller coasters, and the crazier the better, all that stuff. The only thing is, when you're rafting, it's like you're looking down, you see these rocks and these boulders, and you're like, man, I don't want to hit those. So we went off of this one like waterfall, and I remember it was one of those going into it, just the anticipation. You're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And we went over the falls, and something happened with our raft that the guy that Casey was sitting next to in the front row flew over, okay, hit Casey. Casey goes off the boat. The other guy went off the boat. We're all still in the boat. And I'm looking around. I can't see Casey, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, there's boulders down there. Did he hit his head? Is he knocked unconscious? I can't see him. And so to say the least, I'm freaking out just a little bit. So we go to the side of the river, and our guide's standing up, scanning the water, trying to find Casey. Nowhere to be seen. Okay. The other guy had come back up, gotten into the raft. He was fine. And so we're sitting there, and 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by, and my brain's going, Casey was a lifeguard. He's an incredible swimmer. But even with all of that training, you guys, no matter how good of a swimmer you are, things can still happen to you. And so I'm getting to the point where I'm almost panicking, and I go to like stand up, and someone in my boat goes, oh, there's Casey. He had swam across the river and gotten into another boat. And I just remember my heart just stopped, and I just sat down. And you guys, I can tell you, like, it's just like all of that emotion just came up, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's okay. Thank you, kind of moment. But it was like so scary. And so for like the rest of the ride, I was just like, no more falls. Please, Casey, just stay in the raft. So, but I don't know if it was the same trip or another weekend around, it was like midnight, 1 a.m. or something. We went out on a boat, and it was just in like this calm lake. But we went out on this lake, and they had the beavers, and there was a beaver there floating on his back, how they like have their hands up and they're eating and stuff. I just remember it was so cool because it was like in the middle of the night, but you could still see because of the dusk thing. And it was just, they're in their element. And it was really neat. So to say the least, I was very happy that Casey was okay. And we got him back in our boat.